はい。
その方どうぞ前の方にお越しいただいてください。
Welcome to the FCCJ. I think we're always happy when we have an excellent and important guest, and that's certainly the case today. I'm sure that most of you already know since you're here, but Shigefumi Matsuzawa was the former governor of Kanagawa, and he's now a lawmaker of the House of Councilors. How many years have you been in the House of Councilors now?
6 years.
6 years, okay. And today he is going to talk about the issue of the Olympics, which, as we all know, is going to dominate our news headlines for probably most of next year. But let's hope those headlines are good ones. And he wants to help make sure that they are good ones. As you know, there was recently a controversy over moving the marathon and some other events suddenly from Tokyo to Sapporo. And particularly the process of the way this was done upset the governor of Tokyo, Yuriko Koike, because the decision seems to have been made without her consent or knowledge. And eventually she accepted this move. But I believe that Mr. Matsuzawa today is going to argue that that's not quite enough, that if we're going to protect the athletes, there are some other events that deserve our scrutiny. My name is Michael Penn from the Shingetsu News Agency. I'll be your moderator today. But let's move straight on and hear what Mr. Matsuzawa has to say about next year's Olympics.
Mr. Michael Penn, thank you very much for your kind introduction. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shigefumi Matsuzawa. I am a member of the House of Councilors, and I used to be the governor of the Kanagawa Prefecture. Today, I'm so glad to have an opportunity to have the press conference here in FCCJ. Today's theme is that the most serious heat problem is not marathon. It is definitely golf event. Today, I would like to appeal this very important matter to foreign press in order to be successful in coming Tokyo Olympic Games. I have been urgently requesting the venue for the Tokyo Olympics golf event be changed from the Kasumigaseki Country Club to another venue as a measure against extremely hot weather. On October 16, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, announced a plan to change the venue for next year's Tokyo Olympics marathon and race walking event from Tokyo to Sapporo as a measure against extremely hot weather. Although the matter was ultimately to be discussed at the IOC Coordination Commission meeting to be held on October 30th in Tokyo, the President Thomas Bach indicated that an agreement had already been reached between the IOC Executive Board and the Tokyo Organizing Committee for the Olympic Games, TOC. Thus, the marathon and race walking events transferred to Hokkaido. Since 2014, I have been raising concern regarding the issue of the hot weather condition at the proposed venue for the Tokyo Olympics golf event by asking questions in the House of Councilors Budget Committee and the Committee on Education and Sports, and having discussion with Mr. Yoshiro Mori, President of the TOC, and writing demanding paper to President Bach. However, Japanese media tended to be ignoring this matter. I'm not sure, but I think they have some pressure from TOC because they are official sponsors of the TOC. Specifically, I have been calling for the golf course initially considered as the venue for the Tokyo Olympics golf event, the workers' golf links, to be considered as a replacement for the venues that have been selected by Kasumigaseki Country Club. Although the issue regarding gender discrimination, which were pointed out as being in violation of the Olympic Charter, have been resolved, but other measures have been left unaddressed, including measures against extremely hot weather, operating costs, post-Olympics legacy, access, and accommodation facilities. The issue of measures against extremely hot weather is an especially serious problem. In 2017, research team led by Professor Takehiko Mikami from Tokyo Metropolitan University published a paper in the International Journal of the Climatology with observation result. It indicates that the Kawagoe City in Saitama Prefecture, where Kasumigaseki is located, is the hottest place in Japan. In fact, I visited Kasumigaseki in August of this year for the Japan Junior Golf Championship, which was being held there as a test event for the Olympic Games, and I measured a temperature of the 42 centigrade degrees in the sun. Furthermore, according to data compiled by the Olympic and the Paralympic Hot Environment Measurement Project, which the Ministry of the Environment has been conducting since 2017, the average temperature at Kasumigaseki over 3 years for the golf event period, that means July 30th to the August 8th, were shown to be 31.7 wet bulb globe temperature, WBGT. That is exceeding the WBGT of 31 degrees, at which temperature sporting activity is to be suspended as a general rule. In golf competitions, one down takes more than 5 hours to complete, including the practice and the starting time. It is estimated that the games will be played from 7:30 until 15:30, a very long time to be out in the sun, moreover. The golf course is a closed space with nowhere to go to escape from the heat apart from the clubhouse, which only a limited number of the people can enter. Although preparation for the tents and other temporary shelters are apparently being made, it cannot be said that there will be sufficient in terms of the escaping from the extreme heat, forcing spectators, volunteers, and staffs out under the blazing sun for long periods of time. Both the men's and the women's golf events are to be held over 4 consecutive days, unlike the marathon or race walking events, where there are many places such as buildings and the train station to which people can retire after a 2.5-hour event is over. With golf events, there's nowhere for people to take refuge from the heat. The potential risk to the health of the various people at marathon and race walking events does not compare to the danger posed to people at golf events. Faced with these conditions, is it really possible to force the Tokyo Olympic golf events to be played at the Kasumigaseki? It has been reported that 5% of the participants in the competition held in summer, the year before last, collapsed from the heat stroke. If the actual number of the spectators and the staffs at the Tokyo Olympic golf events equals to the estimated 25,000, the simple calculation indicated that some 1,250 people will collapse from the heat stroke. The impact on the many volunteers involved in the running events cannot be ignored either. Ambulances, hospitals will be unable to cope, and with heat stroke patients, collapsing one after the other, the possibility of the fatalities occurring cannot be ruled out. The period between late July and early August is hottest period in Japan's summer. And so it is no exaggeration to say that forcibly holding an outdoor sporting event in the hottest region of Japan at the hottest season in Japan is extremely irresponsible. In fact, physician, who is the president of the Tokyo Metropolitan Hospitals Association, as well as a Kasumigaseki Club member, and other famous weather forecasters have also issued warnings about these dangers. Running against the philosophy of the athlete first and the gallery first, there is a real possibility that players will not force to retire or be unable to finish their rounds. If the safety and welfare of athletes, spectators, volunteers are paramount, the decision should be made to change the venue for the Tokyo Olympic golf event to a cooler location, such as Wakasu, where temperatures are around 4 centigrade degrees cooler due to the venue's seaside location, or Karuizawa, Hakone, even Hokkaido, where people traditionally go in summer to escape the heat. In those areas, there are many championship golf courses which are suitable for the Olympic golf event. We can make it by next summer in time if IOC decide within this year. To make the Tokyo Olympic Games successful, I strongly request be changed from the Kasumigaseki to other venue because of the extremely hot weather. This is the outline of what I'm tackling for Tokyo Olympic Games. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Okay, well, a very strong case there from Mr. Matsuzawa, and of course, if all of our guests spoke English as well, we would never have need for an interpreter. But we do have Mr. Kurobe, who is over there to help us with the question and answer session, so that Mr. Matsuzawa's answers are understood precisely, especially to those members of the Japanese press and others who may be here. So I'd now like to open it up to working journalists. If you are a working journalist and you have a question for Mr. Matsuzawa, please raise your hand and I'll call on you. When I call on you, please come to the microphone which is placed over here. Give your name and affiliation, and then hit us with your questions. So, please, floor is open. Okay, yes, Mary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matsuzawa. Very interesting and I think brave proposal. I have two questions actually. Do you work with the Japan Golf Council?
Mary, actually, you haven't given your name.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mary Corbett, Crester Media. Have you spoken with Tamaki Masayuki, I believe, a famous sports commentator?
はい。さん。
はい。それと大家さん。はい。Because they came here specifically with the same concerns 2 years ago, and they also wrote many letters to the...
I was here 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Welcome back. Yeah, so, was there any success? So, are you now fighting this by yourself, or are you working with the Japan Golf Council? はい。
いいですか、わかりますか、皆さんで。はい。実はゴルフ改革会議という私たちは会を作ってまして、その会長が大家さんという大家英子さんですね、有名なコメンテーターですけども、それで副会長に玉木さんというスポーツジャーナリストがいらっしゃるんです。それで私もそのメンバーに入ってまして、もうこの5年間今のゴルフ界の古い体質を改めないと日本のゴルフに発展はないということと、今回のオリンピックの霞が関はあまりにも暑すぎて危険だと、この暴走は許してならないということで、実は3年前にここで記者会見をしたんですね。
There was an organization called Golf Renovation Committee here in Japan, led by this
大家英子さん。
Eiko Oya and the vice
玉木さんは何だっけな。
Tom Masayuki.
さん。
And then, in fact, we met here 2 years ago to specifically discuss this topic. And then we repeatedly emphasized the importance of having the potential problem of golf match game in that particular location. Also, this organization tried to change the old Japanese style, organizational style of the golf play in general. So this has been covered and discussed for several occasions, including this venue.
でこのゴルフ改革会議で霞が関をやめて若洲ゴルフ場にね変えるべきだということを、実はバッハさんにも IOC にも、それから世界のゴルフ連盟にも、それから組織委員会にも手紙を送り、で組織委員会と日本ゴルフ連盟には私たち要請にも直接伺って何度もこの危機を訴えてるんですが、全く逃げの一手で、そんなこと今更言うなと、もう決まったんだと言って逃げの一手で、逃げ切りたいという対応なんですね。
Based on what I just told you, that we have discussed and then brought the attention to the Olympic Game Committee, also World Golf Association, by sending mails or correspondence, and then also, in addition, we ourselves brought ourselves to the with the specific request, the danger of conducting and promoting this golf match in the Kasumigaseki location.
何度も行きました。
Several occasions, but unfortunately, so far our request has been denied, seemingly denied. No one dared to respond or take any action.
組織委員会にしてみれば、もう会場は決まったんだから余計なことを言うなと、それでまた変更なんかになるとみんな騒ぎ始めますよね。会場を失う方も騒ぐし、会場が欲しいところも騒ぐし、もう面倒くさいことは嫌だからとにかくそういうことはやめろって言って無視されたんですね。
The reason why of this neglect, maybe overlook, is partly because for those who are concerned with the particular venue designated for this Olympic match, also for the alternate place where people want to also bring attention or future potential market. Just because of the fact that for those two parties, unfortunately, they seem to overlook our concern.
で、私たちはこういうこともやってても ダメなんで、もう諦めかけていたんですが、つい先月、マラソンの会場が暑さのために北海道に変わると。それも日本側がいくら反対しても決めるのは IOC だと言って、一挙にマラソンの会場が突然というか変わってしまったんですね。でこれを見てて、そうなのかと、もし IOC さえ説得できれば、 IOC のバッハさんがゴルフも問題だと、変えるべきだって一言言えれば、最高権力持ってるのバッハさんですから、バッハさんさえこの問題提起が届いてね、決断をしてくれれば、いくら日本側の組織委員会とかゴルフ連盟が反対したとしても、これ会場変わるわけですね。だからもう一回皆さんに訴えてみようと。でこの私の訴えに反応してくれたのが海外のメディアなんです。ルモンドであり、ロイターであり、ESPN なんですよね。で海外のメディアは関心がある。日本のメディアはみんな逃げるわけです。無視する。だから今日ここで海外のメディアの皆さんに伝えたいと。そしてその海外のメディアの皆さんの報道がバッハさんに伝わって、バッハさんが真剣にこの問題を考えてくれれば、私はもしかしたらゴルフ会場も変わる可能性があると思って今日やってきたんです。すいません、ちょっと難しい。
In fact, just because of this inaction, we were about to give up the idea of pushing forward of this idea. But just as you recall, a month ago, there was a decision by IOC, International Olympic Committee, to move the venue of marathon and then. Anyway, two Olympic Games to Sapporo in Hokkaido, considering the heat problem, potential heat problem of Tokyo area. And then that sort of encouraged me to promote this idea once again. And also for the fact that the last time when I raised this problem, the foreign media, namely Reuters, Le Monde, and ESPN responded, and they showed their interest. So I realized that maybe with the help of the foreign correspondents, we bring this issue again directly to the attention of our International Olympic Committee, President Mr. Bach. So hopefully that this can bring another attention to this very problem, so that we can help correct the situation.
So if I may continue,